Hey, good afternoon, fam. Good afternoon. Hope all is well to everybody. Hope all is well. Listen, I want to touch on this topic, right? Because a couple of days from now we will be into Valentine's Day, right? And I've been seeing a lot of different contents, right, on social media, right? In reference to, why men are not getting married and why men don't want to marry somebody or why, they keep dating people and they never pop the question, right? And it's funny because I was talking to one of my clients the other day, right? And was actually talking about the same conversation, right? Because she has three children and she has a daughter and stuff like that, right? And we're West African and your parents actually push marriage on you and stuff like that, right? Like they want you to get married, right? And they're seeing, especially in the States now, where I'm from, which is Nigeria, right? Like people get married like quickly, like in their early 20s and stuff like that. And they usually stay married together for a long period of time, right? But over here, you know, um, in America, right? It's a totally different, um dynamic, right? Um so to answer the question, right, in the short form, right, as to why men do not get married or don't want to get married anymore, it's real simple. And I don't know why a lot of people don't talk about this. Like, it's not really rocket science. You understand? Especially if these are men who are doing well. These are men who did well for themselves or doing well for themselves, and they created a life for themselves. They build assets and things like that, right? Um, it's real simple, right? Divorce rate in America right now is 40 to 50%, right? But that's not really the main issue because America is not actually the number one country with the highest divorce rate, right? It's a place called the Maldives, right? Okay. They have the high, America is actually out of the top 10, America is number 10. Okay. So they're not really they're not really the country with the highest divorce rate. But the problem is though with America though is what happens to you after divorce. Like places like Sweden and Ireland and stuff like that, right? They don't have a alimony situation, which means like they don't have a situation where you have to pay somebody indefinitely, or for life situation or until they get remarried. They don't have that over there. Okay. They don't have that where I'm from. Okay. So people in those other countries, they may get divorced, right? But they'll quickly go back and get remarried again. Because sometimes you marry people, you know, you think you love them, but you don't really know who this person is that you marry, right? And you end up because people get married quickly. Like, if you're 25-year old and you marry another 25-year old, most of the time you didn't take the time to vet the person, right? So you don't really know who it is that you married, right? So it happens to a lot of people, and or some people just grow up and mature. Some people grow apart. Some people grow up, and some stay still. You understand? And that could cause like a lot of divorces, right? Money is also an issue, right? But the reason why a lot of men in America do not get married is because of the simple fact that I might lose everything that I work for, right? Okay. I don't know if y'all know this, right? And as ladies, if you guys are watching this, right, I want you to picture this, right? Alimony can be about 40% of a person's income. So let me give you a clearer picture. If a person makes $100,000 a year and they divorce an individual, that person can be forced to pay another person $40,000 a year until that person remarries again, if they ever get remarried again. So can you imagine paying that to another human being? Right? Listen, I'm talking about, let's be fair here. Right? Because you have a lot of highly successful men out here who want to get married, but they're looking at these staggering numbers. If you've been married to somebody for 20 years plus, right? In America, if you've been married to someone for 20 years plus, right? There is no limit as to how long you have to pay alimony. So I want you guys to picture that, ladies. Let me tell you, I was talking to my client the other day, right? And I was telling her, listen, I don't know any man at the age of 40 and above, maybe even late 30s and above, who don't want to get married. I don't know any. I don't know any man who wants to come home to an empty house. I don't know too many men like that. I don't know any man who don't want their family, their children, to be in their house with them. I don't know any man who don't want to come home and they open the door and the kids are saying, "Daddy's home, Dad." I don't know too many men who don't want that. But when they look at the risk that's involved in America in doing that, most men not willing to take that risk. And it's just that simple. It ain't because we want to be single. Nah, maybe in your 20s, great, whatever. You want to be single, you're out here having fun, blah, blah, blah. But once you start to get your bag, you start to get your career going, and you getting up there in age, now all that get old, right? All that get old. And it comes to a point where you want to come home. You want to see your wife there. She's smelling good. She cooking the meal. The kids are running around. They're hugging dad when dad come home. You know, you walk through the door, you give your wife a warm kiss. Right? I don't know too many men who don't want that. But when you look at the fact that divorce rate in America is at 40 to 50%, which means if 10 people get married, 5 are probably going to have a divorce. And the 5 that have a divorce, they're probably going to have to pay 40% of their income to this individual forever. Forever. They might even lose their house to this individual. Then you factor in child support. So now we talking about going into a deep hole. Okay? Some people might say, "Oh, Maxwell, money is not everything." You're right, it's not everything. But let me paint you a picture. Let's say and this is just, this is just a picture. Let's say an individual make $100 million. Let's say an individual is worth $100 million. He gets married in America. He divorced the first wife. She takes half. That's $50 million. He gets married to another woman. It doesn't work out. She takes another half. Now he's down to $25 million. In the streets, we'll call that an idiot. Okay? Because you've now lost 3/4 of your worth. Everybody else is richer than you now. I need someone to comment and tell me where that makes sense. So every other country, right? They have divorces. It happens. But the only difference is a person's not losing their entire net worth. A person's not paying another human being who they're not with anymore for life. Ladies, I want you guys to picture that. I want you guys to picture yourself paying another human being for life. Listen, I want to share that today, right? Because it was in my mind. I was talking to my client yesterday or the other day, and it was like an hour-long conversation. Because she got two boys who are refusing to get married. Then she has a daughter who wants to get married, but these guys are not proposing. And I had to explain to her, like, listen, it's not her fault. If you guys want, let me tell you something. If women want men to marry or ask them to marry them, y'all need to march to the courthouse and have them change family law. I guarantee you, as soon as they change that law, men will start going back to Jared, to K Jewelers, wherever, back to the courthouse to get marriage certificate. I guarantee it. Anyway, I just want to share that with you guys today. Listen, I hope you guys have a wonderful and enjoyable Valentine's Day with your loved ones. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a blessed day.